Oh yeah, it's almost time. We got the GOAT back. We got Caitlin Clark back in the gym, going viral. This is crazy. We got to get into this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Let's go. It's happening. It's happening already. Caitlin Clark, the GOAT, is back in the gym with the Indiana Fever. You see who that is right there. Here, this picture was taken with...
The footage blew up instantly. One look at the gym's lighting and the flashes of Caitlin Clark's fierce, locked-in energy were enough to set the internet on fire. There was no mistaking it. The GOAT is back, and she's coming with purpose. This wasn't a routine workout. It was a warning shot, raw, deliberate, and aimed at every challenger and every lingering doubt across the league. The focus etched into her expression during each drill turned viral in moments, capturing something far bigger than a simple practice session. Her return has fans bracing for a storm because everything about her preparation screams that she's ready to dominate. And if there was ever any question about the hype, this clip proved it. Every bit of it is earned.
That lifts all boats. She's not a needle mover. She's the needle. Y'all need to get behind this girl and ride this gravy train. And she stood front line. She was ready to go at Jeff Teague. She was ready to go at everybody. Caitlin Clark is back in the gym, training hard with the Indiana Fever in preparation for the 2026 season, man. You can see this here. This picture, it says, life is about showing up for your friends, people you admire, and building greatness for the future. At Caitlin Clark, at Indiana Fever, at WNBA. And you got Nancy Lieberman with Caitlin Clark. That is fire.
Fueling the fire behind her highly anticipated return, legendary coach Nancy Lieberman was right there beside Clark, a living symbol of unwavering belief. This isn't some newly formed partnership. Lieberman has been on the front lines from day one of the few boldly championing Clark despite the early waves of skepticism surrounding the young phenom. Her presence in these high-stakes workouts speaks volumes. It reinforces that Clark's rise is about far more than stats or accolades. It's about influence, evolution, and legacy. This collaboration highlights a strategic meeting of basketball minds, shaping Clark not only for the battles ahead, but for the enduring mark she's poised to leave on the game.
We have a lot of jealousy, and I'm going to answer this question by stating a fact. When Michael Jordan came into the NBA in 1984, it was Magic and Larry Bird who kind of started to resurrect the interest in the NBA. When Michael came in, TV ratings soared, salaries soared, media was so attached to him, and he backed it up with his play. Now there were, with the bad boys, there were the Jordan rules, and they roughed him up, and all Michael did was get in the weight room, start changing his body composition so he could handle the people that were coming at him.
Lieberman never held back, proclaiming that Clark isn't just a needle mover. She is the needle, the driving force elevating the entire WNBA. She openly urged others to get behind this young star and ride the momentum, emphasizing the undeniable surge in viewership and revenue that Clark generates. This unapologetically strong stance, especially so early in Clark's rise, set Lieberman apart as a fierce defender in a time when many were eager to minimize Clark's unprecedented impact. Her early conviction has aged flawlessly. The massive shifts Clark has sparked across the league have proven Lieberman's assessment strikingly accurate.
All of it was, to be honest. That's why she was so targeted.
Caitlin Clark, she'll get tougher, right? She went in the weight room. She got bigger. She got stronger. Of course, she's been injured. And it's okay. We want everybody to raise their level of play for the next generation who's coming after you. I know this. I was the Caitlin Clark in the 80s and 90s, where I had 99.9% of all the attention for women's basketball in the world.
Right.
And you know what? When you get to this stage, you're like, okay, what can I do? Arike is a baller. Paige Beckers is playing great. Look what Sabrina and Stewie has.
Lieberman strengthened her defense of Clark by comparing her to some of the greatest icons in sports history, including Michael Jordan. When Jordan entered the NBA, he was met with relentless physical punishment from rivals like the Bad Boys. Instead of breaking, he rebuilt himself in the weight room, transforming his body to endure and overcome the abuse. Lieberman sees that same fire in Clark. She believes Clark is in the process of forging her own physical edge, preparing to withstand any targeting or rough play thrown her way. It's a trajectory that mirrors Jordan's rise to dominance, one powered by grit, discipline, and an unshakable will to elevate her game.
All the attention for women's basketball in the world.
Right.
And you know what? When you get to this stage, you're like, okay, what can I do? You know, Arike is a baller. Paige Beckers is playing great. Look what Sabrina and Stewie has been doing, and you know, Skyla and NECA. I mean, they're on every team. There's amazing levels of talent. And stop nitpicking with each other. Just go out and ball, and you know, let the final
play the game.
Yeah, all the targeting, all that stuff was just, it was unnecessary, and the fans saw it play out right in front of them. That's why I appreciate Nancy.
The analogy didn't stop there. Lieberman even drew a line from Clark to Tiger Woods, another generational talent who dealt with envy and doubt when he burst onto the PGA scene. Woods didn't just compete, he elevated golf itself, driving up ratings, purses, and drawing massive new audiences. Lieberman insists Clark is doing the same for the WNBA. Her influence stretches far beyond her on-court brilliance. She's reshaping the league's entire ecosystem. With Clark in the spotlight, new fans are tuning in, investors are paying attention, and the financial horizon for women's basketball is expanding in ways that once seemed impossible.
The average attendance in the 33 games Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have played in this season is 15,746, which leads the WNBA. The average attendance of WNBA games not involving Caitlin Clark is on average 8,490, an 85% drop from games that Caitlin Clark is not participating in. Obviously, the New York Liberty average over 11,000, the Los Angeles Sparks average over 10,000, but the Indiana Fever at 15,746. Yet I'm on the air the other day, and
Lieberman's message to the league was unapologetically direct. Don't hate her. If Clark is the cash cow right now, embrace it. She called out the petty behavior surrounding Clark's rise and urged everyone to acknowledge what's already clear. Clark is the best guard in the league, and her numbers back it up. Her plea for unity over resentment highlighted a deeper problem within the sport: internal friction that harms progress. Lieberman pushed for a culture shift, advocating not just tolerance but genuine support for one another's success. She emphasized that when one star rises, the entire league stands to gain, a truth the WNBA can't afford to ignore.
you could say, what would you want to say in terms of the narrative that has been put out there as it pertains to her coverage and her feeling?
Cheryl Swoops was probably the biggest hater. The biggest hater. That's what Cheryl Swoops was. She hated so much, she ain't even on Gil's Arena. She got kicked off the Dallas Wings telecast, all types of stuff, because she was doing too much.
It's about Caitlin Clark.
You know, I've known Cheryl since she was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her.
Lieberman didn't shy away from naming jealousy as the driving force behind the intense scrutiny and targeting Clark has faced. She pointed out that envy often plays a major role in how rising stars, especially women, are treated, directly tying that emotion to the narrative surrounding Clark. Her candid, if controversial, commentary highlighted the deeper tensions that emerge when a massively popular new figure disrupts the established order. Clark's meteoric rise has inevitably shifted attention and challenged long-standing dynamics within the league. Bringing those underlying insecurities, intensity workouts make one thing unmistakably clear. She's getting tougher, stronger, and more physically dominant, directly addressing the demands of the pro game. This isn't merely about preventing injuries. It's about elevating her physicality to match her elite skill set, ensuring she can withstand the grind of a long season and the relentless defensive pressure she draws. Her commitment signals that she's not just adapting, but thriving, setting a new benchmark for preparation. Drawing on her own journey, Lieberman openly shared that she was essentially the Caitlin Clark of the 80s and 90s, attracting nearly all of the global attention in women's basketball. She knows firsthand the pressures, the microscope, and the expectation that come with that kind of spotlight. Her experience gives her a rare perspective, one that allows her to deeply empathize with Clark while offering meaningful guidance on how to endure and succeed amid intense public scrutiny. Lieberman's bigger message was simple: stop nitpicking and start celebrating the game. She urged fans and critics alike to appreciate the extraordinary talent across the league, emphasizing that stars like Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, Sabrina Ionescu, and Skylar Diggins-Smith further prove the depth of excellence in women's basketball. Clark's rise doesn't diminish anyone. It shines a light on just how much high-level talent the sport has to offer.